Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right-hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. Thank you to my subscribers and followers. I muchly appreciate your support. Share it with your friends and family. That would go a long way in helping us grow as we've built an integral channel here. We've been around a few years now. Yes, we also take great pride in being the one podcast that avoids gossip, and we try to avoid it at all costs, because 99.9% of the time it never comes into fruition. So we'd rather wait till the information falls, that is factual information, not just trying to get you here type thing, because a lot of people are doing that to get numbers. Same thing, no clickbait here. And we take great pride. And we also enjoy you leaving your comments, because we built a community that respects one another and keep it clean, because that's what we do. All right, let's get down to it. This was a review for last night's game. Florida was in Montreal, and this was supposed to be an easy walk in the park for Montreal, in the sense that Florida's running on basically a skeleton crew, because they don't have the majority of their best regulars. So a lot of people, critics, were kind of in the opinion that this was going to be a walk in the park. It wasn't. If anything, it was one hell of a battle for Montreal to pull this off, and they did manage to pull it off. Thanks to Dobes' play, because the way the Habs were playing, it was terrible. They outplayed the majority of the game. Probably, 5 minutes into the third, they started to really take over. That was a little late in the game, so Dobes really stood tall. Demidov stood out as well. Those were the main two that stood out. The rest, everybody else, there was no special anybody for line one. Just it needs a wake-up call right now. It's, as well as it was doing, it's kind of choking. Yeah, let's get to it. We're going to give you the period by period, then we'll go to the write-ups and stuff and stats. First period, it was 1-0 for Florida. They scored a goal apiece, so 2-1 going into the third. Montreal manages to score 2 in the third, and Florida won. That sends it to overtime. There was no winner in overtime, and Montreal had a power play at the end of the third going into overtime and could not capitalize on it. That first line of power play needs some serious work, and I think it's left on the ice too much because they're trying to be too cute, and they're coughing up pucks. So I think that they should start weighing it out and using the second power play unit a little more while this is going on, for sure. So we get a goal get the winner in overtime. So final score ends up being 4-3 Montreal. Thank God they needed this. You couldn't let this slip away with the amount of games, four games left. This was probably going to be one of your easier, well, only because of the skeleton crew, your easier games to win, and it wasn't, because Montreal in the last 2 games looked like they just are flat as hell and dead. So I think there's a bit of fatigue involved in it. All right, now let's go to the scoring summary. First period, Montreal is 9:23. Carter Bahagi, assisted by Donovan Sobrango. That's at 9:22. That was only scoring in the first. A lot of defensemen making mistakes on the Canadians, and forwards not picking up their men. At second period comes at 54 seconds into it. Ivan Demidov and these damn announcers and people who are supposed to be professionals in the hockey world keep calling, and even the announcer in Montreal, it's a joke. Yvonne? Do you want an Yvonne that bad that you got to call a poor guy who's from Russia, whose name is Ivan? You want an Yvonne? Sorry, we haven't had an Yvonne since Yvonne Lambert and Yvonne Cornwallis. So get a grip. Use your proper English. Okay? Simple as that. So Demidov, power play goal. Spoke Cole Caulfield and Slavkovsky. He made no mistake on the goal. Demidov was the player, other than Dobes, that were the 2 bright spots for Montreal, thank God. So that gets us back into the game at 1-1, and then, of course, at 13:43, Cole Reinhardt scores, assisted by Kunin and Seth Jarvis. And, so they go up 2-1 going into the third. Then we get, and they really had control of this. And at 6:22 in the third, we get a goal, nice goal from Philip Deneau. This was a beautiful setup. Adam Enstrom set it up. Philip Deneau contribute finally in that department. So that ties things up, but at 7:49, not long after, Lesterainen, assisted by Forsland and Jasper Broquist, we couldn't hold them off, of course, So they score again, and they're up again on us. But then at 19:39, Montreal really pulling off a lot of heroics. Thank God Nick Suzuki gets one assisted by with a beautiful play of Lane Hudson. Jari Slafkovsky sets up the play. Lane Hudson carries it down the ice, and he draws the goaltender out to the side of the net, and the defenseman all on him and just drops the puck back in front. And there's Nick Suzuki. You could not make no mistake on that goal. Gorgeous play by Lane. What can I say? That looked good. Adam Midstrom looked fairly comfortable last night as well, so I think he's actually outplaying both Struble and Jacky. I said that he would anyway. Then we went into the shootout, and of course our hottest man, which would be Cole Caulfield. Nice snapshot, low, opens up the legs of the goaltender, and Cole Caulfield gets the first one. And then we get Lesterainen. This one was saved by Dobes. Great save by Dobes. He was on fire even in the shootout. Just tremendous. Alex Texier gets another one, and he's just been very phenomenal on those. If he gets in on you on a break, he's got very soft hands. So he gets one with a nice roof shot, snapshot, and that's 2-0 Montreal in that shootout. Then Sam Bennett takes a shot, and Dobes stops him too, shuts him down, and that is your victory. Thank God for Dobes being hot, because otherwise Montreal would have never and should never. They were outplayed and didn't deserve this win. No end ifs and buts. They did not deserve that victory. But Dobes wanted it, and Demidov came up flying in them. The smooth moves of Demidov. My God, this kid is going to be like Lane. These guys just got such an IQ and such swift moves. He's going to be pretty to watch as he gets seasons like next year. I can't wait to see him in his growth development-wise, because he's going to be something. Plus, when we get him actually, it's a shame that Kapanen has fell off a bit and had to get put onto the fourth line. I think he's just tired because he's probably not used to 82 game seasons plus the Olympics. That's a lot of hockey. So this kid's used to 52 game seasons. So who knows? He might get it fine, get it back in gear. But he was struggling, so they did the right thing. Newell, for some reason, has been doing very well in the face-off department. Good to see that, because they needed someone to fill in. But boy, do we ever need a second-line center. We're right back to square one, where we thought we had our second-line center with Kapanen. I mean, he still may be, but I'm starting to lean that he maybe not. Maybe he could be the winger for the second line. Who knows? I think it's going to be a great welcome to get Michael Hage there, because I think in the end, that'll probably be your second-line center. Who knows what could develop with him and Demidov, and Kapanen might be a part of that as the other winger. With less responsibility, I think that might be a little bit of a favor to Kapanen in that sense. So Montreal, they're going to suffer for not making a trade at the deadline with getting a bigger winger or center, one or the other. That's going to come back to haunt them for playoffs, but at least we're in there. We got the victory. A lot of teams battling each other that are in this dog pile, like Boston losing that helped us a bit. Although they got a point because it was in overtime. But when you see Columbus going up against Detroit, and somebody's going to fall off, and it looks like right now Columbus is slipping a little behind too. Ottawa, though, is managing to keep winning, so that's quite something. They're someone to watch. They're fighting for a wild card, no doubt about it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Boston and Ottawa capture those wild cards if we don't fall into one. That is, we're now in a battle, tied for that first place in the division. It's Montreal, Tampa, as you know, and Buffalo. Now, the way it's set up, the Sabres have the easiest schedule. There's no doubt out of the three teams. So I'm thinking they'll probably win top spot. But I think next it comes down to, I think Tampa would get it next, and we got to go head to head with them Thursday. That's going to be a huge game. That will be probably the decider as far as for Montreal anyway. Will they stay in that battle? I doubt it. Can they pull off a second win against Tampa? I think they can, but boy, they got some work to do because right now they got to wake up, fatigue or not, they got to get over it. I'm glad to see them rest Gallagher and a couple other guys, but they might have to rest like Dooley as well. Yeah, they might have to do this a little bit with switch a few guys and just make it a little easier on them down the stretch here. But way to go, Habs, go. Again, Dobes, what can I say? This guy's definitely proven he's a starter. But boy, standing on his head is just unbelievable. The amount of breakaway 2-on-1s, odd man rushes, and high danger zone chances on him just blows my mind. He was on the money. On the money. He's been on fire. He's really helped us move along. So way to go, Dobish. Way to go, Demidov. Those were, to me, the two main players that were up to par last night. Let's get a wake-up call for the rest of the crew, because Slav had a horrible game for the forwards. Wasn't impressed with him whatsoever. So that being said, that is it for this review. We will give you a review of tomorrow night's game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's going to decide a lot of things as far as where Montreal stands in the dogfight. That's crucial, because I honestly think it's going to be between Buffalo and Tampa. But Montreal could shock us if they could pull off a win against Tampa. That would be huge. So that's saying, let's go Habs go. We will see what happens from there. And only 4 games left. These are all crucial games in position. At least we're in the playoffs. So I'll catch you after that where the puck drops first here.